I told you about those notes, and that was one of the things in the notes. So
Okay,
I
well,
told you about that.
what was the thing in the notes? Like, what was behind it?
What do you mean? What was behind it?
I mean, what happened?
Well,
Not bullshit, not sugar-coated
there
fictional
there was
crap.
a bomb in the Pentagon.
How could a bomb be in the Pentagon when it's one of the or supposedly one of the world's most secure places?
Because the CIA set it off, and they have access to it.
Well, isn't the CIA a part of the United
It
States?
is.
Well, how could the United States fucking hurt itself?
So they did. I
And
don't
then
know why.
advertise on its own media that it was like Al Qaeda.
Because they were lying. They had some ulterior motive.
What alternative motive? I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but I can guess. Maybe they wanted to go into Iraq for oil. Maybe it was a ritual sacrifice. Maybe it was they wanted insurance money. Maybe it was a combination of all of those things.
I hear a lot of maybes, but nothing that is what I actually think it might be.
Okay, I think it was so that they could go into Iraq and steal oil. That's what it was. That's my opinion. There you have it.
And that's it. I mean, it's an opinion, but I mean, Helen Keller could probably think of a deeper opinion about soda crackers. You know, describe the consistency and
Yeah, and there you go insulting me yet again. So, yeah, that's it. That's my opinion. I'm sorry you don't like it. But that's what it is, so too bad if you don't like it.
Well, I wasn't saying I disagree with your opinion, because that is one of the constituent factors that involves the whole process of why the war was fictionally created from the beginning with a false flag war event. But in the grander scheme, that's only one mere factor. You know, like
I know.
just saying oil.
And I was listing off the factors. No, but before I only said oil because you wanted me to pick one. I listed off like 5 factors before that, and you said, "Yeah, no, yeah, we can watch it later." You didn't want me to list them off. You wanted me to pick one because you said that if I didn't pick one, I didn't have an opinion.
Can you
So
have
I did.
Can you connect things though? Like if it was Charlotte's Web, can you be like not just, I don't know, what was the word? Awesome? Not awesome. What was it?
I
What
don't
is the
know,
word?
but okay. Can I connect? What do you
Not
mean
some
connect things
not
though?
some
I don't know what you
pig.
mean.
Not some pig.
Terrific.
Like, terrific. It just said terrific. Like, can we connect those? Like, you know, like into a grander picture, you know, and like what I really want people out there or like if you're actually listening to this is that if there's like like operations like UNICEF or any corporation that's basically asking for donations, I'm not disregarding the value or saying that the money doesn't actually go to that cause, but I'm saying that those causes are almost like lesions on a person's body where they have been infected with a disease, and you can continually put patches on them which are supported by our donations, but those scars and lesions will never go away because the system has been corrupted. And I'm pretty sure anyone out there that's actually quite aware about this material would understand that there has been plenty of fucking scandals when it comes to the bankers. Digital money is a lot harder to track than like gold or silver because it's a fucking physical thing. And all of that apparently is, we're not even allowed public access because Fort Knox, which was like, you know, that was what's supposed to be holding the dollar true to its value. They're not even held responsible for being accountable for that in their safe.
And that's why there needs to be more transparency. That's why Fort Knox, it should allow an audit. That's why, and it doesn't even matter about that
Why
because
do
it's
they
not
have
backed
the
by
why
gold
do,
anyway.
why do they have the right to refuse an audit? Does anyone else on the planet have a right to refuse an audit?
Well, they weren't actually, and I know you're going to get mad at me for defending them, but they weren't actually refusing an audit because Ron Paul isn't an official auditor that can has the authority to to make an audit. He just said it in a debate with other political figures. Hey, they should be audited, and they
And
weren't
nothing
audited.
else happened from that?
And nothing else happened from that. That's right, because then he lost the election, and
Okay, well, that just goes to show you how interested the general public also is in it, because he also lost the election,
that's
and
right.
nothing further continued from it, meaning they didn't do an audit, meaning he questioned how much gold was actually in a mysterious safe labeled question mark, just like any other human being on the planet, like you or me watching this video. If you get an audit, do you think you have any fucking chance in refusing it? No.
No, well,
But they didn't even get audited. Even though there's someone who's, you know, one of those speakers up there in the political fucking propaganda bullshit that we have to deal with all the time, actually questioning and saying we should audit it.
but nobody.
None of them thought it mattered
But
because we trust what's in that safe. It's probably the same as it was before. Maybe they added even more into it. Because they're all fucking retarded. Because if someone's going to say they don't want an audit, do you really think that it's because there's the same or the less? It's obviously less. Come on, are we all fucking retarded? And maybe, yes, maybe the dollar is no longer fundamentally built upon that. What's it built upon then? Absolutely nothing then. And if they've sold all that gold that was in reserve for the people that it originally belonged to people who are the head of corporate businesses that are ahead of the top of this pyramid, then didn't they really just sell out all the people? Which is maybe why they don't want an audit, because that gold was originally from the people, which we actually held in reserve. The dollar, the original gold dollar, if you look it up, says that it's backed by gold. You could have got it back. It was put in a safe. Was it safe? Or is it gone? That's what it boils down to.
And it wasn't safe.
And now that it's gone, what is it based upon? Mere faith. Faith in what? Well, when they took on the original bill, when it said that it was based upon gold and you could actually go to a treasury and have it reimbursed for that amount in gold, which a gold dollar, by the way, was a hell of a lot more than a gold dollar nowadays. Now, to keep in mind, everything was also different because of inflation, and you didn't make as much. You might only make 10 cents an hour. So it did take longer. But it's not even in reserve anymore, meaning it's not backed up by that anymore. But yet our grandparents' grandparents gave that up. And now it's been even though it seems immense in value in the price, so it might seem to be, even if it was $2,000 per ounce, even if it was that high, which it isn't. I'm just saying that people who have the ability to just conjure money out of fucking thin air, creating paper, fiat currency.
Yes, the Federal Reserve, namely.
Can buy gold. They can actually turn their lies into something fundamental and factual and solid, and have it under their name in a safe in their house, under surveillance, under their own surveillance, whatever they want to be. But Fort Knox refuses an audit.
No, that's right. Which is sort of it doesn't really matter because money's not backed by gold anyway. So if there's lots of stuff in Fort Knox or there's no gold in Fort Knox, either way, it's
gold used to be.
Used to be.
Money used to be gold. They were interchangeable.
Yes, they once upon a time they were interchangeable. They're not interchangeable now.
Well,
They're
they still
separate
are.
things. Oh yeah, you can buy gold with money and you can sell gold for money. So yeah, in that respect, they are interchangeable.
And the people that lived in Zimbabwe before their dollar became absolutely worthless, if they would have bought gold, would it have benefited them?
Absolutely, it would have benefited a
And
lot.
the Zimbabwe dollar collapsed because the government was corrupt
They printed too much
and they
money.
printed too much money. If you just do a simple YouTube search about the QE3, it's when they print about $40 billion every month, and they are still doing this to the day.
Yeah,
And if you divide our currency as a general collective and you keep adding that into the whole, guess what they're doing? They are every month devaluing our currency. I don't actually remember the exact percent, but I actually watched a Deep Insider video that revealed the fucking bullshit behind this. And if you do the math, it was over 2% every month.
but
What is that in a
curiously,
year? Basically, what we're going upon after a year, which we're practically going on now, is just faith. What it actually says on the bill. It used to say, backed by gold. Now it says, in God we trust.
but curiously though, inflation is lower than ever. So even though they're printing all this money, and it doesn't really make sense because you'd think that that should mean there would be high inflation, for some reason, there's very low inflation, and I don't.
You have to elaborate on your debate point. Or else it doesn't seem.
Just give me a minute. I will. I will. I was. But so it's just and I don't know why, but
Because they're pumping endless amounts of fiat currency into the system,
that
which can take years before it actually affects
inflation,
the general
right?
public.
Yeah. So
Even though in the meantime, they can benefit.
so maybe there's no
grossly.
inflation now, but even if they stop printing money, because of all the money they printed, there could be inflation tomorrow.
Well,
people
the
start-
math of it would say that the inflation of the future is the profit of the present. Meaning what they steal from us now, our children are going to have to pay back for.
That's right.
And they have trillions in debt. Literally trillions from the war debts. In the USA anyway. Not talking about Canada, but we're still heavily linked to them.
We have our own debts.
And the debt that is linked to this war is exponential. In dollar bills, it could reach to the moon and back 3 times. It's a large amount of money that the general public never officially actually okayed and said, hey, yeah, I'm going to throw my money at that. But they felt that they had the right to do that, supporting war and, not supporting, feeding people that are starving to death. Instead, we're going to fight upon our conflicts. But really, that's not what it boils down to. It boils down to money and control, and they already have all the money, or at least all the money in their little SimCity grid on the planet. And the United States, of all of the countries over the planet, has been renowned for starting the most wars for no fucking reason. Up until recently, when it also propagated a false flag event, killing 3,000 of its own people, and then framing people from a faraway country saying that it was all them. Not to say that there isn't problems going on in that world, but a lot of this was just fueled upon racism, people's general stupidity, and their ability to watch too much television and believe what they are told.
Yeah, it's people when they're in groups, they don't act the same way as when they're individuals. So when people are like, when there's a whole bunch of people together, it's easy to convince them to to want to go into war or to want to do things that they wouldn't normally do if they're by themselves. Like, most people wouldn't punch someone in the face if they're standing right beside them. Like, even if you did convince them, even if TV did tell them to, but if TV tells people to go to war or join the army, then they will, because they think there's others that agree with them, and people want to fit in, so people will do what they're told, just based on that, because they think that's what everybody else is doing. And it's that mentality that has to change.
You can end the video if you'd like.
And yeah, hope this has been informative, and hope everybody learns something. I know I always do. Bye.